Section 31's influence on Deep Space Nine. Defiant, Season 3, Episode 9. If we accept the theory that Ishen Krol was a deep cover Section 31 operative, then his possible role in the events of In the Pale Moonlight becomes a compelling extension of Section 31's broader strategy and a critical point of intersection between his covert influence and Garrick's hands-on pragmatism. It is surmised that the first breadcrumb to alert the Federation about the Obsidian Order / Tal Shiar alliance dropped by Ishen Krol was the incident from the DS9 episode Defiant, Season 3, Episode 9. Following is an extrapolated reframing of that episode that details Krol's involvement. The promenade of Deep Space Nine was never silent, but Ishen Krol moved through the shadows as though cloaked in invisibility. His Cardassian heritage was hidden beneath the robe of a nondescript traitor, but his eyes, cold, calculating, betrayed the truth. He had been Obsidian Order, long enough to know where every whisper led, and longer still to know when to sell those whispers to others. The whisper now was of an unholy alliance. Tain, the Order's old spider, had bound the Tal Shiar in a secret pact. A combined fleet, unseen and unacknowledged, built for a single purpose: strike at the founders themselves. Krol recorded the fragments, decrypted chatter, and coded manifests. Then he sent them not to Central Command but into the void, through channels no Cardassian knew existed, channels that led to Section 31. Section 31 Control Node, Enceladus. Sloan read the transmission with a thin smile. The Obsidian Order and the Tal Shiar conspiring together, predictable. Their ambition was a weapon waiting to be turned against them. Control processed the probabilities in the background, its voice cold and measured.
If Tain succeeds, Dominion destabilization increases by 37%. If he fails, both organizations are annihilated. Probability of exposure, 61%.
Sloan's mind moved quickly. He needed a plan that ensured Section 31 won no matter the outcome. The Federation must remain innocent, untouched by the web of deceit. But the truth had to come out, either as vindication or as a grave marker for the galaxy's most dangerous spy masters.
I need an asset that can command a Federation warship straight into Cardassian space, and who can disappear the moment the blame begins.
Control did not hesitate, as it had already determined a suitable agent for the task.
Agent Thomas Riker. Cover: Starfleet deserter. Mission: currently embedded in the Maquis. Probability of operational success: 89%.
Sloan allowed himself the faintest smile. Riker already lived in the shadows. All Sloan needed to do was give him a mission worthy of those shadows. Demilitarized zone. Outskirts of Volan 3. Thomas Riker met Sloan in a cellar beneath a Maquis safe house. The older man wore civilian garb, but the weight of authority clung to him.
Sloan.
Riker stated in greeting, slightly, nodding his head.
Riker.
Sloan replied.
31 has a new mission for you. You've been Maquis long enough to know what they are missing. Strategy. Purpose. You're going to give it to them.
What's the play?
Riker replied with no hesitation. Sloan smiled. Sloan stepped closer.
You will steal the Defiant from Deep Space Nine. You'll take it into Cardassian territory under the Maquis banner. Your orders are simple. Provoke the Cardassians into pursuit to these coordinates.
Sloan stated, handing Riker a pad with the mission details.
Their pursuit will lead to a revelation. The Obsidian Order is conspiring with the Tal Shiar to eliminate the Founders. If the Dominion discovers this plan, the Order and Tal Shiar will both be crippled, and Section 31 will fill the void. If they succeed, the Federation stays innocent, while its enemies bleed themselves against the Founders.
Riker studied the pad and then looked up and nodded in approval. The shadows claimed him fully. Deep Space Nine, The Arrival. When Thomas Riker stepped onto the station disguised as his brother, the charade was seamless. He carried himself with the confidence of a decorated commander, but beneath the surface he was Sloan's weapon. Sisko greeted him with the wary respect he would afford William Riker. Dax smiled, recalling old memories. Only Kira seemed unsettled, but not enough to stop the deception. Within hours, the Defiant was his. Odo's instincts bristled too late. Warp signatures flared, and the Defiant vanished into Cardassian space with her phaser banks primed, her cloaking device armed. Cardassian Central Command, Joint Operations Room. Sisko stood beside Dukat, their mutual contempt buried under necessity. Cardassian ships scrambled to intercept the rogue Defiant. Dukat cursed, while Sisko's jaw tightened. Something's not right. Sisko thought processing the pattern of the Defiant's attacks as he noticed the attacks were not random. They were designed to leave the Orion system without any warships in the vicinity. The Defiant appeared to attack an outpost, and Dukat ordered the ships in the vicinity to intercept. "No," Sisko shouted. "Don't move your ships from the border, don't you see? The attacks are designed to pull your ships away from that system." Dukat looked at Sisko, confused.
Orias, there's nothing in that system.
"At least send a ship there in case the Defiant makes a run for it," Sisko demanded, frustrated with the Cardassians' lack of vision.
All right.
Dukat stated unsurely.
Contact Golrana and have him send a ship.
No.
The Obsidian Order agent snapped, aggressively standing up.
That system is under the Obsidian Order's protection. Any ship.
Karina continued glaring at Dukat, letting him know that her words were meant for him as well as the Defiant.
Any ship that enters that system will be destroyed.
You would fire on a Cardassian ship?
Dukat demanded incredulously.
I would.
Karina replied, sneering. There is more going on here than a stolen Federation ship, Sisko thought, intrigued. Section 31, Observation Node. Sloan watched the unfolding chaos with clinical detachment. Reports streamed in, Cardassian patrols ambushed, Central Command in uproar, whispers of secret fleets growing louder. Krol's encoded messages confirmed it. Tane was furious. The Obsidian Order had been forced to move pieces earlier than intended. In Romulan space, Tal Shiar liaisons fretted about exposure. Control's voice cut through the silence.
Dominion surveillance probability increasing. Obsidian Order compromised. Tal Shiar destabilized. Federation innocence maintained.
Epilogue, Prisoner Exchange. Thomas Riker was eventually captured. The Cardassians believed he had acted alone. Starfleet maintained plausible deniability. In a hidden chamber far from Cardassia Prime, Sloan read Krol's final report.
The Obsidian Order suspects nothing of Federation involvement. They believe the Defiant theft a mucky blunder. Their alliance with the Tal Shiar is now a secret carried into Dominion ears. Exactly as Section 31 intended.
Sloan sealed the file with a whisper only Control could hear.
Vacuum created. Shadows filled. The game continues. Section 31, Director's Final Report. From Director Luther Sloan. To Control Oversight Node, Ultra Black Archive. Reference, Operation Shadow Veil. Defiant, Obsidian Order, Tal Shiar Alliance Exposure. Subject, Post-Operation Assessment, Krol, Riker, and Federation Cover. On Ishen Krol. Krol remains a useful instrument of chaos within the shattered remnants of the Obsidian Order. His discovery of the Tal Shiar Pact provided the opening we required. His belief that he manipulates us is almost endearing. In truth, he is an expendable pawn, feeding us precisely what we allow him to find. Performance adequate. Retention. Maintain until compromised, then eliminate. On Thomas Riker. Agent Riker executed the mission with skill, embodying the role of Maquis traitor flawlessly. His theft of the Defiant forced the Order's hand, exposing their collusion with the Tal Shiar and drawing Dominion attention. His capture was both expected and beneficial. The Maquis believe him their own, Starfleet disowns him, and the Cardassians consider him neutralized. His existence in a labor camp ensures silence and continued plausibility. Performance, effective asset. Mission outcome optimal. Retention, inactive, expendable. On operational objectives. Federation maintained total deniability. Obsidian Order and Tal Shiar Alliance confirmed, destabilized, and exposed to Dominion surveillance. Maquis' cover story held flawlessly. Section 31, Presence undetected. On Federation leadership. Captain Benjamin Sisko. Here lies the elegance of the operation. Without a whisper from us, Sisko played his part perfectly. Summoned by Cardassia to aid Dukat in recapturing the Defiant, Sisko maneuvered as only he could, frustrated yet loyal, suspicious yet dutiful. He pieced together the shape of the conspiracy, discovered what the Obsidian Order was building, and, most importantly, provided cover for the Federation by appearing to act of his own volition. He believed he served only Starfleet. He believed he carried the burden alone. He believed he outwitted the shadows. In truth, he became the perfect Section 31 operative. Unaware, he was one. Strategic reflection. Section 31 may be fractured, weakened by its own secrecy, burdened by suspicion even within Starfleet Command. But as long as there are men like Benjamin Sisko, warriors who carry the Federation's sins without guidance or approval, Section 31 does not need to exist in their eyes. We exist in their choices. Sloan's final note. Control projects. Section 31 may be crippled. Perhaps. Structures can be broken, files erased, names hunted. But shadows cannot be crippled. And Sisko, who believes himself free of us, will forever carry our work forward. He is ours, and he does not even know it. Filed. Sloan, Director, Section 31. Seal. Control verified. Ultra Black.
Obsidian Order. Internal Intelligence File. From Karina, Senior Observer, Obsidian Order. To Obsidian Order, Analysis Division, Eyes Only. Reference, Incident Report, Federation Starship Defiant. Date, Stardate 4846-7.3. Summary of Events. A Federation warship, the USS Defiant, was stolen from Deep Space Nine by an individual identified as Thomas Riker, a duplicate of Commander William T. Riker, a known Maquis operative. The vessel penetrated deep into Cardassian space under Maquis colors. With the assistance of Captain Benjamin Sisko, Central Command pursued the rogue vessel. The Defiant was intercepted before it could strike, and Thomas Riker was captured alive. Assessment of Captain Sisko. Military acumen. Sisko's command decisions throughout the incident reveal a sophisticated understanding of both Federation and Cardassian military doctrine. He anticipated Riker's feints and identified his true target, the Obsidian Order shipyards in the Orias system. His reasoning was methodical, recognizing that no Maquis commander would risk a Federation warship merely for raids on supply convoys. Only the Orias system's secrecy justified such a maneuver. Strategic instinct. Sisko correctly deduced that the Orias system was not simply a military target, but a symbol of Cardassian secrecy and vulnerability. He maneuvered Dukat and Central Command into transparency, pressing for information on the system's true function without ever appearing to challenge the Council directly. This demonstrates an ability to extract intelligence from Cardassian leaders under duress, a dangerous skill in a Federation captain. Political manipulation. Sisko balanced loyalty to the Federation with tactical cooperation with Cardassia. By ensuring the Defiant's capture without Federation intervention, he preserved Federation deniability while securing Cardassian confidence. His calmness under suspicion suggests prior experience dealing with covert powers. He understands how to move within shadows without claiming them. Assessment of Obsidian Order exposure. The incident brought the Orias system dangerously close to public scrutiny. Sisko's deductions confirm that Starfleet Command is aware of irregularities, though the precise function of Orias remains unconfirmed. The Maquis theft was Federation problematic theater, but the real danger lay in Sisko's ability to interpret the evidence and draw accurate conclusions. Carinus' analysis. Captain Sisko is no mere soldier. His ability to read intentions, deduce hidden agendas, and maneuver adversaries into concessions rivals the instincts of seasoned intelligence officers. He recognized the Orias system as the true target without access to order records. This intuition is alarming. It suggests that, given time, Sisko will piece together further aspects of the Order's operations. Recommendation: maintain heightened surveillance on Sisko. Ensure Federation intelligence is saturated with decoys to obscure Order activities. exploit his trust in diplomacy when convenient, but never underestimate his capacity for war. Filed, Karina, Obsidian Order. Liaison. Seal, Obsidian Order, Ultra Black.
Founder Intelligence Brief. Filed by Colonel Lovok, Tal Shiar, Covert Liaison. For the Founders, Eyes of the Great Link Only. Date, Stardate 4-9017.9. Subject, Orias System Developments, Joint Tal Shiar, Obsidian Order Fleet and Implications from the Defiant Incident. Founder Summary for the link. The Tal Shiar and the Obsidian Order are actively assembling a cloaked joint fleet within the Orias system. Their declared objective is a surgical, surprise strike directed at the Founder's home locus. You are already aware of these activities. I report with full transparency and with the benefit of first-hand operational insight. The Solids believe their plan secret. They are mistaken. The Defiant affair has accelerated certain probes and curiosity in local command structures, but it has not yet revealed the true scale of the threat they attempt to muster. Incident context. Lessons from the Defiant operation. The theft of the Defiant under the cover of impersonation and social engineering demonstrated that carefully staged deception can bypass station-level vetting and exploit interpersonal trust among senior officers. Starfleet's response pattern: rapid local containment, then procedural hardening. Their reflex is corrective, not anticipatory. They close the obvious hole and assume the hidden channels are sealed. This is a predictable miscalculation. The Solid's institutional blind spots, over-reliance on rank, ritualized courtesy toward familiar faces, and a preference for overt sensor data create repeatable pathways for high-fidelity mimicry and coordinated strikes. The Orias project aims to exploit those exact vulnerabilities on a larger scale. Current observations. Orias. System buildup. Force composition and concealment. Multiple Tal Shiar and Obsidian Order assets have been redirected and quietly staged in deep orbit of Orias. These assets include retrofitted cruisers and specialized escort craft adapted with sensor masking suites and low-signature propulsion. Cloaking and signature suppression technologies have been integrated with Tal Shiar stealth doctrine and Obsidian Order tactical doctrine. The resulting assemblage is optimized for a deliberate, close-range strike rather than open engagement. Operational posture. The Joint Command intends to present Orias as a logistical waypoint and testing position, while the bulk of the fleet remains cloaked in nearby micro-orbits and sensor null corridors. Active sensor sweeps are minimized to reduce exposure. Political and intelligence cover operations, false merchant convoys, diplomatic delegations, routine patrols are being used to justify increased transit through nearby jump corridors, thus pressuring the Solids to shift assets into predictable channels. Solid reaction, misplaced focus. Central Command and Starfleet have indeed become curious about Orias. Probe and patrol frequency has increased. Their inquiries so far are surface level, sensor pings, diplomatic notices, and political questions, without a coordinated interdiction doctrine that would discover the cloaked armada. They do not yet appreciate the scale or intent of the joint fleet. They treat anomalies as isolated incidents rather than components of one synchronized campaign. Strategic assessment. Risk to the link, low if managed, because you are already aware the immediate existential risk to the home locus is controllable. The Tal Shiar, Obsidian Order initiative is dangerous only insofar as the solids are permitted to commit forces to distant transit corridors. Let them commit. Advantage of foreknowledge. With the link apprised, we may convert their impatience and aggression into an operational advantage by channeling their movements into prepared kill windows. The current Orias posture is an opportunity to shape the solid's decisions rather than be forced into reactive posture. Tactical recommendations for link consideration. Controlled visibility. Allow the Tal Shiar Obsidian Order staging to continue superficially. Do not prematurely expose our full sensor coverage or strike assets. Let the solids escalate their curiosity to operational commitment. Interdiction windows. When the solids commit, execute synchronized interdiction on supply nodes, command elements, and transit choke points. Decisive strikes that remove logistics and leadership will collapse any expeditionary force with minimal open battle. Exploit internal rivalries. The Obsidian Order and Tal Shiar partnership is brittle. Allow their coordination to overreach just enough that command friction and timing mismatches appear during initial movements. Those frictions are exploitable. Preserve concealment of founder assets. Do not reveal the precise disposition of link-controlled reconnaissance and strike elements. Tactical ambiguity will force the solids into worst-case estimations and hastier, riskier choices. Specific operational actions observed and suggested. Continue to monitor the cloaked rendezvous corridors, catalog signature anomalies and micro-distortions produced by large fleet formations even when cloaked. Implant low-risk sensor anomalies, microbursts, energy residue, in adjacent sectors to guide solids' analytic models toward the corridors we prefer them to follow. Prepare Dominion interdiction squads at predicted choke points with rules of engagement optimized for swift capture/destruction of flagship nodes rather than attritional fleet battles. Odo and changeling considerations. The Defiant event exposed the vulnerability posed by founder presence when loyalties diverge. Monitor Odo's social influence among solids. His actions continue to complicate solids' trust calculus. Use his standing as a variable when modeling Federation reaction. Ensure any attempted overtures toward Odo are observed. Isolated political gestures or legal rehabilitations may be used by solids to blunt our informational advantages. Conclusion. The Tal Shiar Obsidian Order attempt to construct a cloak strike force in Orias is real and accelerating. Because the link already knows, the tactical situation is favorable. The solids are unknowingly arranging themselves into a campaign that will reveal its vulnerabilities once it leaves their system-centric comfort. With patient economy of force and calibrated deception, the Dominion may allow the latter to be built and then collapse it at the link's choosing. Patience, precision, and masked inevitability remain our most effective instruments. Colonel Lovak, Tal Shiar. Founder Liaison, Covert Channel.
This concludes the excerpt from the book Section 31's Influence on Deep Space Nine, The Redacted Logs. The book is available in audiobook, ebook, hardcover, and paperback. Purchase the audiobook at audiobooks.com, Bibliotheca, B&N Audiobooks, Everand, Kobo, Overdrive, TuneIn, and Spotify. Book formats can be purchased at Apple, Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, Kobo, and Google Books. In addition, you can purchase my artwork, audiobooks, and ebooks from my store at Euftis on Buy Me Coffee. If you missed it, watch my episodes where I discuss Section 31's influence on the events from the DS9 episodes for the Uniform and In the Pale Moonlight. Until next time, peace.